Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to Crypto Empire, where we dominate the crypto market. My name is Connor, and it's FOMC day today, and we have a lot to talk about in regards to the crypto market. So let's go ahead and get right into this live stream and start off like we always do with our crypto market overview. So guys, we're going to be streaming on a different platform right now today. We're actually back on some different software, and this is allowing me to live stream to multiple destinations. So I should be live on YouTube, I should be live on X, as well as Twitch and Kick. So if you guys aren't following me on Twitch as well as Kick, go ahead and follow me there. And if you're not following me on X, well, obviously go and follow me on X at CCellCrypto. My ad is at the bottom of the screen right now. Let's just make sure we're live on Kick over here. Yeah, we're live. We are streaming, guys. Great to see that. So yeah, we're all systems go here. We're going to be broadcasting to multiple platforms here on out. So if you guys don't want to watch me on YouTube, go watch me on one of the other 3 platforms that I am live on. But anyways, let's get into the crypto market, guys. So we're getting that rally that we were talking about last Monday. Remember we were talking about that higher low scenario and like 20% moves higher? Well, that's exactly what happened. And here we are now with FOMC today. So Bitcoin is at 92K, ETH is at 3,300. Fear and greed index is still in fear. And all in all, I'll get into what I think is going to be happening. But yeah, like I said, guys, it is FOMC day today. All right, so that's going to be at 2 p.m., which is still in around 6 hours. So there's still a lot of time right now. It's around 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time currently. So yeah, I mean, we got some time until FOMC. Shout out to everyone in the live chat right now, guys. I see you all. I can bring the comments back up to the screen as well, which is a cool feature of the streaming software. Shout out to Mike B. Great to see you as well. We got our guy Manny. What's up, Manny? B Marquis. What is going on? Living La Vida Crypto. Yeah, great to see all you guys. FBS, Chris Bay. We got Dave as well. Dave looks like he's looks like a fake comment. But anyways, I'll get to the comment section, the live stream comments in a little bit. But yeah, great to see you guys. And we'll be able to bring those comments up onto the screen from here on out, which is a very cool feature, more interactive with the audience. But anyways, today we are expecting a 25 basis point decrease. All right, 97% chance we will see a 25 basis point rate cut. And I mean, that's kind of just what we expect here on out. This is the last FOMC meeting of 2025. I don't think it's going to have any major implications on this current crypto market. I'll get into the charts right now and what I'm expecting. But I mean, all in all, this is the news when it comes to FOMC. 97% chance we do see a 25 basis point decrease for these interest rates. So anyways, let's hop into the charts, guys. Now it's been like a week or so since we streamed. And the last time we were live was Monday, December 1st. My bad, guys. My bad. I know. But anyways, it was this big red candle, right? We sold off on the 1st of December, and I was live saying I think it's a higher low, right? We were looking at how price just retraced immediately into the golden pocket or the 61.8 retracement. ETH actually went ahead and hit the 78.6, but that higher low scenario is exactly what played out. I mean, it did take a while, but the target has been run here on ETH, right? We were looking for a move to the yearly open at 33.50, and that's exactly where price is now. All right, so this is a 22 to 24% move here on Ethereum. So the question is, what should we expect now, right? And also, if we go look at Bitcoin, same thing. Okay, when we were on, when it was Monday, December 1st over here, again, we were live saying we think this is a higher low, or I think I should say that this is a higher low. And I did say we were going to run up to the yearly open in this 12-hour supply. And, that's exactly what happened. So now we have to basically anticipate what's going to happen next from here. Should we be expecting a massive breakout and a run to new all-time highs? Should we expect this rally to ultimately fail and lead to an actual bottom later on in December or maybe in January? Well, I think the latter. I think we should actually be expecting this rally to actually fail. And let me get into why I do believe that to happen. So the main reason is prices, it's in a downtrend, right? We have been in a downtrend from Monday, October 6th, the 6th of October. And that was the exact day of the Reddit post calling the top of the bull market that everyone I'm sure is familiar with. I don't have that up on the screen. But anyways, we've been in a prolonged downtrend here with lower highs and lower lows, and we still have that, okay? So really, in order for Bitcoin to break this downtrend, it needs to clear the previous swing high. And the thing is, the last leg down lower was from 107 to 80K. We had a huge swing, right? The swing high at 107, swing low at 80, 25% swing here. So the previous swing high is at 107. All right. So as long as price is below 107, it's bearish, right? This is a downtrend. We can see a rally up here to 100K to 104K, and it would still technically be bearish and a lower high. The only way that would actually change would be if price is to close above the previous swing high at 107. I don't see that happening. Now let's get into this current rally. So again, I expect the current rally to actually fail here. Price has just wicked into this 12-hour level of supply here at 94,500. So we have multiple sweeps now of the yearly open, and we have one sweep, one test of the 12-hour supply. So we're going to be finding out if this was the actual lower high leading to the next low. Personally, I wouldn't be too surprised to see some shenanigans with FOMC, and we still do have some levels higher here. Okay, we still have the level at 98K. And according to the technicals, 98K is an 8-week time frame hidden order block, right? This is the 8-week time frame here. We're looking at this guy hidden behind quite a few fair value gaps here, hidden behind 2 fair value gaps. That's right at 98K. All right, so that's big resistance we want to have marked out on the chart. And then the ultimate highest price I think we'll see here, personally speaking, is up here at around 102. Another 12-hour supply zone. And I believe there's a 3-day in there as well. But yeah, this is at 102K. So, I mean, I'm not sure where we're going to top out, but I am looking to short the market. I am expecting the rally to fail, whether that's from right here in the 12-hour at 94, 95K, whether that's from 98, or whether that's all the way up here at 102. I'm expecting the rally to fail and for price to actually make a new low. So I'm not very bullish right now headed into Christmas time. I know it's the most joyful time of the year, and we're supposed to be very bullish and optimistic, but the way the charts look to me right now, I'm not so bullish headed into Christmas time. I actually think that we'll find a bottom around Christmas time, okay? So, which means we have to go lower, of course, in order for that to happen. So there's the Bitcoin plan. Right, we are expecting a push up either back into our 12-hour supply, but really I'm looking for 98K as a major level of resistance to short potentially, with the potential that it does go as high as $102,000. But I do not expect it to get back up to 107 and close above and switch the downtrend to an uptrend. I just do not see that happening, guys. All right, so let's go look at Ethereum now. So that's the Bitcoin plan. Now we're at an interesting time because if we look at the metrics, first of all, here's Bitcoin dominance on the daily time frame. And Bitcoin dominance has been downtrending in my opinion, okay, right? This broke the bullish uptrend, right? We had a trend line break, nice leg down, bounced higher, and now we're seeing it move lower again. So Bitcoin dominance is in a downtrending environment, which is a good thing for altcoins. Of course, we need Bitcoin dominance to go down for altcoins to go up, really. That's where the capital flows from. And one other good metric we want to keep an eye on is ETH versus Bitcoin. And right now, ETH BTC is also showing a lot of promise to the upside, right? We're seeing Ethereum really outperform BTC currently, headed into FOMC today. And yeah, we're seeing ETH BTC pump and rally, which is why we're seeing ETH actually outperform Bitcoin right now to the upside, right? As we can see, ETH has made technically a higher high here after last week's swing high was closed above with yesterday's candle, with Tuesday's candle. So this level is a 3-day supply zone. That price just front ran. This is all the way up at $3,400. Now, if you guys were watching the last live stream we did on December 1st, the plan was to look for a pump up to the 3-day supply. So, I mean, that happened, right? Yearly open 3-day supply. It's like a $50 price difference. So we were looking for the move to this area, and now we got there. So the question really on my mind is, how high is this rally going to actually go right now? Right? The ETH chart looks very promising, not going to lie, right? ETH BTC looks quite strong. So the question really is, can ETH get above this previous swing high at 36.58? Right, this one here. So similar to Bitcoin at 107K, I mean, ETH has the levels. ETH has its own swing high over here at 36.58. So in order for ETH to really be bullish, it needs to close above this on the daily time frame, and still quite far away, right? This is still a 10% or so pump away, just to that very important previous swing high. So with this current environment where we're seeing Ethereum outperform, if Bitcoin does make that run up, I would be looking for ETH to pump into this swing high. Okay, I don't personally think it's going to have the gusto or the strength to significantly get above it and then close above it and hold the level, reversing the trend. Ultimately, I'm expecting Ethereum to first of all hit 2,500, which it never did hit. Okay, this level is still open. And then I'm expecting really for the ultimate bottom to form down here at 2K. Right, so that's going to be a pretty nasty swing. And once again, everyone who gets delusionally bullish, everyone who kind of loses their cool at the sight of green candles and gets all excited and starts to have FOMO, like they need to get all into the market. Every time that has happened for the past year, it's been a false breakout leading to new lows, basically. All right, so I think that this cycle is going to continue to repeat, at least for now, where a good portion of this current move has happened. All right. I think the upside is capped. Maybe it does move up another 10% to the next swing high, but I just am expecting the rally to fail. I mean, it would be great if I was wrong and it just ripped up and just went crazy, ballistic to the upside, but I wouldn't plan for that. I'm not planning for that. I wouldn't expect that. And ultimately, I would expect the rally to fail and lead to a lower low to form a bottom around $2,000 for Ethereum, guys. So that's just what I'm seeing right now. But let's go see what you guys are saying over here in the live chat. Again, guys, for anyone just tuning in right now, what's going on? Smash up the like button. Now, if you are watching on X, we are streaming again on X, guys. So welcome to all the X viewers. We're also live on Twitch as well as Kick, guys. So if you're not following me on those platforms, you can go ahead and do that. And yeah, stay in touch, get engaged, follow me on all the platforms. Appreciate all of your support, but definitely smash up the like button here on YouTube. Yeah, shout out to FBS Kev. We got Chris Bay. And let's see. Robert Coleman says, today will be a pump scam, fake out. Be careful. Don't go all in my opinion. So Robert over here is talking about the FOMC day, which is, again, in around 6 hours from right now, the meeting. So Robert's basically expecting price to pump and then fail, which is kind of exactly what I'm expecting as well. So, Robert, I do agree with you there, my man. I got to say, guys, it's great being able to bring the comments back up on the screen. I feel like it's great for you guys as the viewers as well as me for the host. Shout out to Guts. What's going on, Guts? So our guy, Robert Coleman, he says, we are and have been in a bear for months. Bottom should be April. So I disagree with you there, Robert. My forecasting is a bit different, and I'll go into that. I've gone over it before, but for all of the new viewers who might not be familiar, or for anyone who just needs a bit of a refresher, as we do get into our altcoins today, I will be sure to get into my timeline of how I expect things to go. And let's see, we got FBS. He says, buy the rate cut hype, sell the announcement. Basically, yeah, basically. We want to sell the announcement strategically, though, right? And again, I would expect ETH to go into 3,600, into that territory. And for Bitcoin, I really like this 98K level. And one thing that's interesting is if you pull a fib from the low at 80K up to the previous swing high, you have your golden pocket right at our level we have. Right, we have the golden pocket, the 61.8, coming in at $97,200. And this really is the start of our resistance zone going into 98K. So I really like this level up here on Bitcoin to be looking to sell or to short the market. But keep in mind, we could see it go all the way up into, above 100K. So you need to have that invalidation in place strategically. But, that is quite interesting to note. The golden pocket, you guys have seen, I've shown you so many times here. There's so many examples of just me using a fib and laying out the golden pocket and that ending up being a beautiful trade. All right, and here it is again at this 97, 98K level on Bitcoin. So that's what I'm looking for personally. Big shout out to Ghoul82, my man. He says, shout out to the GOAT. Smash the like. Appreciate you, brother. He says he sold everything at near the top and is providing liquidity on Aerodrome on base, earning ETH and Bitcoin no matter what. Trading after October 10th became dangerous. Yeah, that October 10th Binance liquidation event definitely shook a lot of things up in this market. But Ghoul, it's awesome to hear that you're doing great. And I do appreciate your support as always, man. And shout out to Mr. Kayabashi. What is up? All right, guys. So let's get into some news right now. So we have to mix in the serious news with a little bit of humor, of course. So this is for all the people that didn't essentially reach their goals this cycle, right? So let's go ahead and watch this clip. Hopefully you guys can hear everything. That's it, lads. You tried, maybe next year. You come back and try again. So going into 2026 without being a crypto millionaire. Where is this guy from, by the way? This guy makes the best memes. Absolutely hysterical character. Can't believe it's a real person. But hey, man, shout out to him for always providing the laughs. Some really great content comes from this guy. But yeah, man, we tried. Maybe next year, lads. Anyways, getting into next year, well, CZ's optimistic about next year. Take that with a grain of salt, if you guys know, right? There's a lot going on behind this smile, even though this looks like an AI picture. But CZ says crypto could enter a super cycle by 2026, driven by U.S. politics, Fed easing, and institutional adoption. So the super cycle was expected to be in 2025, right? But now it looks like CZ is saying it's delayed until 2026, guys. So don't panic. CZ has spoken. And remember, CZ definitely has all of our best interests in mind. So we really should trust what he has to say, right, guys? Wink, wink. No, obviously we shouldn't. If you know, you know. There's a lot going on here behind the smile, like I said. But yeah, I mean, it's just a joke at this point. But hey, man, people still will believe it. So shout out to those people. Yeah, 2026 is going to be, it's going to be very exciting. I think the first half of it will be exciting, but it could get very, very ugly as well. I think it's going to be a pretty brutal bear market after we have a nice run ending in the springtime, personally. Anyways, moving on now. So we had a huge amount of money, $150 billion was added to the crypto market cap earlier today, right? And this was on the move where we saw Bitcoin go up. But really the main capital came in through ETH and, some altcoins, right? ETH just had a very, very good move. I mean, really from the low on December 1st to right now, it's up 22%. So yeah, I mean, we called this. I remember I was live and I was saying we go up 20%, and there was someone saying that would never happen. 20% would never happen. Where would the liquidity come from? Well, I mean, it took a while, but it has happened, right? So that's why really you make the plan and you trust your analysis. There's going to be always these outside voices coming in, and no disrespect to anyone, right? Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. Everyone's going to look at the market in the way that they deem fit, that the way that they want to trade, right? Based off their analysis. But there's no one there to press the buttons for you except for you. So at the end of the day, you ultimately just have to trust yourself and your analysis, because you're the one that's going to be making the decisions with your capital on the line. But anyways, yeah, big day, right? We haven't seen green like this in, I mean, I guess a while, right? This appropriate meme right here, celebrating a 5% pump after a 50% dip, right? That's what it feels like, lads, especially if you catch the bottom on a nice trade. But anyways, let's go ahead and move on now to our next tweet. So Coinbase with some big moves. All right, this was announced yesterday. $410 billion PNC Bank partners with Coinbase to offer direct Bitcoin trading for clients. All right, so this is the first bank to market such an offering among major US banks. So we're seeing crypto really start to go kind of mainstream here. PNC Bank is now offering direct Bitcoin trading for their clients. All right. So, I mean, just 2022, 3 years ago, everyone was declaring Bitcoin completely dead. And here we are. Major US banks are doing the most now. So really just a huge, huge change we have seen. And we've been here to witness it every step of the way, right? We never left. In some other news, guys, so world's biggest YouTuber, Mr. Beast, is going to be launching a financial services platform. Basically, it's some type of bank. Probably you'll be able to trade on it. Yeah, really crazy stuff, right? That just goes to show you guys, right? Mr. Beast, what does he gather or garner? He garners attention, right? He literally just has millions and millions. He has billions of views, I'm pretty sure at this point, but I mean, he just has so many eyes on him where he can go ahead and do anything, such as launching a financial services platform. Now, we're not going to get into anything off the fringe here. We're going to keep our tinfoil hat off. But listen, when your name is Mr. Beast, I wouldn't ignore that, all right? Names are very powerful, right? That's why they call me Mr. Aura. But Mr. Beast, on the other hand, has kind of a bit of a darkness to it, right? So, yeah, anyways, we're going to be witnessing a lot of crazy stuff with this guy as the years do go on into 2030 and beyond. I think he's going to play a very pivotal, or not pivotal, but big role into the future when it comes to everyone's kind of life, right? This guy might be the president of the US one day. We'll see. 10 plus years into the future, maybe even 20, but I wouldn't be too surprised. Anyways, going ahead and moving on now. So Coinbase has been hinting on this major system update on December 17th, which is now 1 week away. I'm not really sure what this major update is going to be for Coinbase. Maybe they're going to integrate Polymarket into Coinbase, if I had to guess what it was. But again, don't quote me on that. I really have no idea what this big Coinbase announcement is going to be. Maybe it has something to do with the base network token. Who knows, really? But Coinbase has been hinting at this announcement now for a while, for several weeks, and it's now just 1 week away. So we're going to find out what this means, what it is, first of all, and what it's going to mean for a lot of these base ecosystem coins. Because a lot of them, I mean, really all of them, are down and with very bearish price action. So maybe this will spark a reversal in many of those coins. Now going ahead and moving on, we have CoinDesk over here saying Solana breakpoint is now just days away. All right, so whenever we get a crypto conference, usually, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but whenever we do get a crypto conference, it's usually bearish. Really, this year we've seen that. Back all the way in February, we had ETH Denver. That was the start of this kind of altcoin carnage we saw starting in February at ETH Denver. Bitcoin conference back in June, I believe. Brutal stuff. And now we have the Solana conference. Okay, so the ETH conference this year was bearish. The Bitcoin conference this year was bearish. What's the Solana conference going to be, guys? I mean, if I was a betted man, I would say it's going to turn out to be bearish. And this starts actually tomorrow, right? This is going to be happening on Thursday and Friday, all right? So basically, we're going to have the bulk of the price action remaining of this week taking place when the Solana conference is going to be going on. Okay, so speaking of Solana, let's go look at the Sol chart, guys. And if you don't believe me, right, go look at what happened in February with ETH Denver, carnage at that conference, and then the Bitcoin conference as well. I believe the Bitcoin conference was this dip over in June, right? This is the Solana chart, but this represents what happened at the Bitcoin conference. And then February, that's when we saw like this happen at the ETH Denver conference. So yeah, we got this Solana conference now, guys. Woohoo! All right, what's going to happen here on Sol? So Sol is trading in a pretty tight range right now. As we can see, our range high at 146, our range low down here at around $121. So is this going to break out of this range, or is this like a bear flag? Now, I do like these higher lows forming in this range, right? Showing a bit of reaccumulation with the equal highs. All right, this doesn't look horrible. It's just Solana is at the whim of Bitcoin, really, and Ethereum. So it's going to follow in the direction of those. But with that being said, if we do actually go ahead and see a move up higher on BTC and ETH, then we could see Solana go ahead and clear these swing highs up here at 140, 145, basically. Where do I think it will go to? 160, 162 is major resistance. All right, this is very big resistance here up here on Solana at around $160. And we have the previous swing high at 171. So we'll mark that out PSH. So just like we looked at on ETH and Bitcoin, right? As long as this thing is below the previous swing high and is not closing above it, it's in a bearish trend. Okay, so don't fight the current. The trend is your friend until the end. And basically, Solana has major resistance at 160, then the previous swing high up here at 171. If you're looking to trade Solana, I would say the move would be to look to short these levels. All right. Now, in the lower time frames, it's in a really, really tight range, right? Look at our Monday range here from 139 down to 131, right? This is like an $8 spread on the Monday range. Now, it has cleared the Monday high. It pulled back and it's holding structure up here. So it doesn't look bad to actually go ahead and continue higher, right? I'm sure there's going to be some guys drawing like a wedge here, saying like this is a bullish like falling wedge or something like that, or a bull flag. And it is. I kind of agree with that it's going to break out higher. Again, we're looking for a move basically to like 160. Maybe it does go high as 170, but I would expect that to fail. And going into where I think the bottom will actually come in on Sol, we have to zoom out. Where's the range low on this chart, guys? The range low on this chart, it's pretty obvious. It's also marked out for you guys. It's at $100. All right, so a lot of people thinking that this was the bottom on Sol at 120 down here. I disagree. All right, I think price likes to test extremes. I think that price has memory. All right, so with that being said, I'm personally expecting the bottom for Solana to come in closer to $100, potentially going, below down to around 90. But this is the range low. Okay, this up here at 120, 130, this is not the range low, guys. Right? Bottoms, especially major macro bottoms before a big run, they're likely going to go and test the extreme, and the extreme is down at $100 on Sol. So whatever happens here in the short term, I expect the rally to fail. And I expect the ultimate bottom to actually come in later on this month or in January at around $100 per Solana coin. Hope you guys enjoyed that little Solana analysis here, going over the short term as well as a bit of the longer term here. If you guys did enjoy that analysis, let me know by smashing the like button. I appreciate your support, guys. Shout out to everyone watching on all platforms. Again, guys, if you're just tuning in right now, we are live not only on YouTube, but we are live right now on X. So if you're not following me on X, go follow me on X at CCell Crypto. We're also streaming live on Twitch as well as Kick. We're live on all platforms. So let's get it. Follow me on everything and smash the like on YouTube. Let's see what's going on here in our live chat right now. So Dean says we are in a bear market already. Yeah. I mean, basically, Bitcoin's been in a downtrend since the top, October 6th. It's making lower highs and lower lows. Altcoins have been in, you can say altcoins have been in a bear market all year long, really since like December last year, about a year ago now to the day. December 7th was the top for last year, 2024, and here we are. It's December 10th. So yeah, altcoins have basically been in a bear market for a year. Mr. Kayabashi, I've never heard of Midnight. Never heard of that token before. Oh, you guys couldn't hear that video? That's unfortunate. I'll have to get that sound sorted out so that we can go ahead and watch media on our live streams. And B Marquis says, if you get time, could you chart Tibber? Yeah, we can do that. So Tibber, it is on base. It's a virtuals coin. And it had a very impressive run. Okay, it had a really impressive run. Now, we're on the 3-day time frame here. This thing topped out in late October. And it has now pulled back to what I'll classify as like a base support level down here at around 14, 15 cents. Okay, notice how prices just kind of respected this support level multiple times that it's come into it. Buyers have been stepping in here. Now, what kind of worries me is that it's tested this support level multiple times now, guys, right? Like 3, 4, maybe even 5 touches at this 15-cent support. So if this thing were to break support, maybe we see it drop down to around 10 cents down here. I'm not calling for it, but I'm saying if it was to lose support currently at 15 cents, I see it going to around 10 cents on Tibber. Okay, but it's at a very steep correction. This was a much needed correction, right? 65%. All I'm saying is don't be surprised if you see around 80% when this thing is really done correcting. Okay, an 80% drop would actually make it interesting for new buyers to come in, right? Maybe some people are coming in now after a 65% correction, but really smart money knows after the 80% dip, downside is limited, and that comes in right at around 10 cents. So yeah, that's what I see on Tibber, just taking a quick look at it. While we're on the topic of base coins, we can just go through these base coins, because again, guys, Coinbase does have that big system update on the 17th of December, which is in 1 week from right now. So what's it going to be, and what's that going to mean for our base coins? All right, so here's Brett. Not particularly too much of a fan of Brett personally, but hey, that's just me. There's probably some diehard fanatics watching this live stream, some Brett diehard fanatics. God bless you guys. Man, this chart looks horrible. I really don't have much to say other than it's coming home. It's coming all the way home. I mean, what, 50 million market cap next? Who is buying this thing still? 180 million is still overinflated value, in my opinion. 40, 50 million market cap. We'll see. I mean, I don't actually, it could definitely go that low, but yeah, this thing's just a Ponzi, man. I want to look at the big chart though. Let's go to TradingView. I think for sure we'll fill the wick from October 10th, which means you'll probably see sub 100 million market cap on Brett. Go through a couple more of these. So Ski Mask Dog has come into this level I had marked back in like February this year, right? This thing was all the way up at a 350 million market cap. It's all the way back down to 16 million now. So that's testament that you have to take profit when you catch a crypto pump like this, right? A lot of members of the Crypto Empire community did actually catch this Ski Mask Dog pump. I did call this coin back in 2024. But here it is back at ground zero, basically. And in terms of whether or not this is the actual bottom, I think it can definitely come a bit lower, down to around 13 to 10 million in market cap. Okay, right now it's just reacting to the start of this weekly fair value gap, but the liquidity is in the candle bodies. And on the weekly time frame, there's this weekly hidden order block coming in at a 13 to a $10 million market cap. So yeah, that looks like a good place if you're bullish on Ski. I know Brian Jung still is. If you guys don't know Brian Jung, he's a big crypto YouTuber. He's got millions of subscribers. And he's the guy who made Ski Mask Dog pump, right? He bull posted it. He put it in his videos. He got his big like private group with like thousands of people to buy it. And that really caused the bulk of this pump. And he's still a large proponent of this coin. Will lightning strike twice? It's really hard to say, but I think you'll probably catch a few X's if you can get an entry around a $13, $12 million market cap. So let's go look at a few more of these base coins. There's Tashi or Toshi. They're all destroyed, guys. Important to keep that in mind, but some are more destroyed than others. Toshi's actually the best performer, right? It's going to the downside less than kind of everything else. And I mean, Toshi really has solidified itself as the base meme coin, right? We're seeing Brett start to really falter here. But just going off of this chart that I have this green zone. I don't recall when I put this on, but we're just going to use the previous analysis that I've done here on my chart. And notice how price wicked into this in the November crash, right? That was the bottom here at the start of this green zone. Closer to, I mean, this is a 50% drop, I believe. Yeah, so, I mean, we can still see this thing drop another 40 to 50%, it looks like, for Tashi to come deeper into this kind of buy level that I have here on the chart. It's pretty wide, but that does line up with my overall expectations, right? Again, my overall expectations for anyone who's just tuning in later on in this live stream, my overall expectation is still that this is not a rally to really get excited about. All right. Bitcoin hasn't even broken the highs. Ethereum has broken these local highs, right? ETH is outperforming Bitcoin. We see that clearly with the ETH BTC ratio pumping to the upside. But my general expectation is simple. I think this is just a bear flag. I think this is a rally that is going to fail. All right, let's put it in very simple layman terms right now, guys. This is a bear flag on Bitcoin. So we can draw our flag here. Basically, we have this uptrending structure in this channel. Okay. Typically, what's going to happen is price will hit a major point of resistance. The sellers will overpower the buyers, and we have this uptrend break, and price will go ahead and put in a new low. All right. This is a pretty sloppy sketch, but you guys get the point, right? A bear flag is, in my opinion, what is forming right now on Bitcoin. And I really wouldn't be shocked to see price come into the golden pocket, the golden zone, up here at the 98K level, right? I'll put that on the screen for you guys. If we take the swing low at 80K to the swing high here, we have our golden pocket right here in our resistance level at 97, 98K. And that would be a good place to look for shorts, and then for the bear flag to actually break down. Where do I expect the bottom to come in? Around $70,000 on Bitcoin. All right. So when it comes to all these altcoins, this is what I'm basing my analysis off of. That's why I'm saying I think these altcoins can go lower. All right. Because I expect Bitcoin to go into around 70. Personally, I'm looking for ETH to go into 2K, $2,000. So what's that going to mean for these other coins? It means they're going to get destroyed again, which is why I'm saying it wouldn't be shocking to see something like Tashi drop another 40 to 50%. All right. So might not happen. Of course, I could be wrong, as nobody knows exactly how this is going to play out. Nobody knows how price action is going to develop. All right. We're just speculating. We're using the tools we have at our disposal to make informed decisions. This is how I like to look at the market. If you guys like my approach, and for some reason you're not subscribed to the channel, smash the subscribe button, guys, and smash the like button on this live stream. Thank you for your support. We got 117 viewers watching right now on our multiple different platforms. Shout out to all you guys, whether you're watching from YouTube, Twitter, or X. And we're also live again on Twitch and Kick. Go follow me on those platforms. Let's get it, lads. Anyways, let's go look at Keyboard Cat here. Another base coin. Taking some time to look at these base coins. And all these things are destroyed, man. They're really all distraught, destroyed. Whatever adjective you want to use to describe them. So it looks like KeyCat came right into weekly demand with this wick, and it's put in a nice bounce. All right, but again, with my general expectations here in the market, I'm expecting the actual bottom to come in later this month or in January, leading to a bullish February and March. So if that is to happen, well, we should probably look for this thing to drop again. All right, this thing's been in a free fall since September, really. Or August, September, yeah. Right, this thing is down 82%. So, yeah, 80% decline. I mean, really, it's like a 90% decline from this wick in August. 85%. So, it's at some pretty attractive levels to look to be a buyer. But I do think it could come lower, and probably going to be a good buy. Whenever the base token launches, guys, I just realized I've had that Tibber thing on the screen the whole time. My bad. But whenever the base token launches, it's probably going to do good things for these base ecosystem coins. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. And then there's TREB still at 8.6 cents. Nothing really to say here other than who's left to sell, really. Yeah, I mean, volume dried up. This thing is just in straight sideways kind of oscillation mode. And I think the selling pressure is going to substantially subside as vesting is ending very soon, meaning all pre-sale buyers will have their tokens fully vested. And I mean, without that selling pressure, I'm pretty optimistic on the price, but we'll get into that later. Because for now, there's really nothing happening on the base chain. Shout out to Dre. What's going on, Dre? And let's see. He says, what was your final Mon airdrop? So they gave me 88K tokens. So nah, it was not 10K. At its peak, let's go look at the Mon price. So, I mean, 88K tokens rounded up to 100K for simplicity's sake. So 100K tokens at 2.8 cents is $2,800. At its peak, this thing was around 4.8 cents, meaning 100K tokens was like $4,800. It's not, Dre. It was not 10K. but still a couple $1,000, which is always nice. Can't complain about that. Shout out to the Silva Dollar saying to smash the like button. Guys, smash that like button. Let's go. So we got Guts asking about none other than Fart Coin. So, I mean, here we are. Fart Coin is still a thing, guys. All right, what came in as a bull market hysteria coin. You guys remember the Fart Coin run? It was pretty insane. Right, from 2 cents to $2.70. You really, like, this thing made people's dreams come true. It went 100x last year in a period of around, 3 months or so. But here it is, still holding 36 cents. So, I mean, hey, not too bad, huh? So, I know the Wyckoff guys would probably draw the liquidity sweep here. And, I mean, that played out very nicely, right? Came up, it took all the highs, or most of the highs here. So all the liquidity to the upside, most of it has been taken. Maybe he wants to come up a bit higher to 47 cents. It's currently at 36. But in general, I would say that I want to say that the meat of this upside move has taken place already with a 131% rally in a span of 15 days. Okay, so this is still a downtrend, right? Even though this thing bounced 130%, it still has not gone ahead and closed above any significant previous swing high level. Excuse me as I take a sip of water. So yeah, it hasn't really cleared any structure. It hasn't shifted the momentum to the upside, in my opinion. And we're going to get rid of this long channel I've had here on the chart. And we're going to replace that with a trend line here. All right, so if things start to get interesting here on Fartcoin, the first order of business would be to clear this bearish trend line resistance structure. Just connecting the high from over here in July to the high from over here in September, right? Just extend that out to the right. And we have this resistance trend line just here, okay? So you can see price didn't quite hit it, but it came into the level. It started to kind of consolidate and go sideways. So yeah, if this thing does pop into FOMC, really, I would be looking for 47 cents max. And if you want to trade this, I probably would just stick to Bitcoin or ETH if I was looking to short. Altcoins can be much more unpredictable. But yeah, that 47 cents is right at a 50% fib from the October 6th high. And I like that level a lot personally. Price getting held up by the golden zone right now. But yeah, 47 cents, big resistance. If you're long, I mean, I would look to de-risk if it hits that. I just don't really see this thing breaking out here and putting in some crazy rally. I do not see that happening right now. FBS is what in the crime is Pippin? So I believe Pippin was some AI agent altcoin from the last hysteria run. Now it looks like the Binance cartel is pumping this thing up. So from October, it's up 25x. From the October 10th low, it's up 34x. That's just where the candle closed, not even the wick low. So, I mean, this thing's been on an absolute tear. Really, it's just gone straight up from the bottom on November 20th. Up 17x. I really don't know what's going on with this thing. I couldn't tell you. But let's go look into this a little bit. Where's the volume coming from? Big volume coming in on Radium. We want to check this perps volume though. So it looks like $2 billion of volume is coming in from where else but Binance. I mean, really, it's all Binance, OKX, right? OKX 620 million volume. Bitmart 1.6 billion, OrangeX 1.2 billion, NovaX 1 billion volume. So some crazy volume coming out of these obscure exchanges. I mean, who's using NovaX or OrangeX really? Other than, I don't know who would be using that exchange. But 1 billion volume coming in from there. So yeah, I mean, big volume coming in from centralized exchanges right now to pump this coin. I believe it is manipulation. I believe that this is not organic buying personally. And I would not touch this thing with a 10-foot pole. Maybe it keeps on pumping like Zcash, but at this point in time, it's up 17x in 2 weeks. What do you expect at this point, right? What do you expect if you're the buyer, right? If you look around at the poker table, you don't know who the sucker is, that means that you are the sucker. If you look around right now and you think, you know, if you buy here, are you going to be exit liquidity or not? Yes, you are exit liquidity if you buy up here, in my opinion. So I would stay far away from pressing the buy button on Pippin. Obviously, I don't give financial advice, but I would not touch this thing with a 10-foot pole. Sold Pippin last year. I'm hurting. That's the thing with crypto, is very unpredictable. Who would have predicted that Pippin would come back like this? I mean, I certainly didn't. Right? Go look at the other. This is like an AI agent coin, right? Let's just confirm that. I don't know. It's literally so obscure. Who the heck even knows what this thing is? Wobbly little unicorn. You guys remember the Retardio meme? Yeah, that's what this reminds me of that. This coin. Is this thing still a thing? That's what Pippin reminds me of. Anyways, that's that. Where am I at Franklin the Turtle, man? I'm nowhere to be seen about Franklin the Turtle. I did see it pump. So I saw it put in a good move, but I got nothing to say about the coin. Nothing to say. Pump fun coin. I mean, I think this is the biggest runner that's spawned in the trenches now for quite a long time. So I'm sure some of the lads who are still, you know, in the trenches every single day ate off of this one, but I'm nowhere to be seen on these pump fun coins. It's just not my thing, man. I respect the dedication. So for anyone who's not aware of like how meme coin trading works nowadays, late into 2025, basically at the start of the year, these coins were going to millions, tens, hundreds of millions in market cap. Now they go to like 300-400K. So people are looking to buy these things like a 10-20K market cap and trade them up to like 300K, and that's a big win. So times have changed majorly since the start of the year. And most of the people doing this, they're sitting at their computer screen for hours on end, like at least just 4-hour sessions straight, staring at pump fund, looking for the coin to buy, flipping them in and out. So that's just not how I look to play the market personally. But hey, if that's what you enjoy doing, well then good on you. But I don't see it as something that interests me personally. Anyways. Let's see. Clop Zone says, will Sui go below $1 if ETH goes to 2,200, like you said? Short answer, yes, it absolutely could go to $1. In fact, I think it's very possible it goes to $1. Very possible. Real quick, I don't want to spend too much time on this, but Sui, yeah, I think like 112, $1 could for sure happen. All right. We have the level already marked. So definitely in the cards. Good question there, Clop Zone. And we got Shane Stridham. Shane says, oi, oi, Connor, late to the party today. Good to see you. Good to see you as well, my man Shane. And yeah, guys, if you guys are just tuning in right now, we are now using a multi-streaming software. So we're live on YouTube, we're live on X, we're live on Twitch, and we're live on Kick. And I can also bring the comments up on the screen, which is awesome. All right, so shout out to Shane, and great to see you as well. And Shane says, Connor, what's your thoughts on Chintai? It looks bullish. Is Chintai, is that checks? It is checks. All right, so this is a real world asset coin. And it moved really well late last year. And then stopped moving. So let's get the full history up here. Wow, 5 million market cap. All right, so Shane, my thoughts on this coin is I don't disagree with you, right? It does look like it put in a pretty nice bottom, right? This is a formidable bottom. Call it a inverse head and shoulders, right? Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Just a tight breakout, and it looks like it wants to actually continue to pump from here. So yeah, I mean, checks doesn't look too bad. The question really is though, how high is it gonna go? Okay. And there's a level at 6.8 cents. This is known as an opposite pole, essentially where this wick kind of sticks out in this order. We're on the weekly time frame. Yeah, I mean, I can see it going into these swing highs around 6.5, 7 cents. I would be careful though, just because of my overall stance on the market. But here's the thing: you see what's happening with that other coin, Pippin. Does some cartel want to take over checks? Maybe, but that's a hard bet to take. But yeah, in general, right now, Shane, the chart doesn't look horrible with an inverse head and shoulders breakout. You know, maybe it does have some more upside to it around 40, 50%. But yeah, that's what I see. Pullback would be better to buy, especially with FOMC coming up now in just around 5 hours, guys. Right, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have our FOMC meeting coming in. And again, this is expected to be a 97% chance, 25% rate cut, 25%, 97% chance here. So yeah, maybe we'll get some volatility before then. And real quick, maybe you get a Monday low sweep. So if you really want to buy it, maybe you get a Monday low sweep to go get an entry, and you can take that up to like 6 cents. But very low market cap coin, 5 million market cap. So TA isn't the most reliable thing on that. So let's see. It looks like Dre just hit a 4x on the wet launch. There you go, Dre. We'd love to see it. Nice little gain in this market. Yeah, nice one. Things moving right now. Mr. Kayabashi, Midnight is the new Zcash privacy coin made by Charles. Let's go see what's up, man. Let's show some love to Mr. Kayabashi 115 and go look at Midnight. Check this Bybit perps chart. New coin. It's only got 2 daily time frame candles. And it's been in a pretty aggressive uptrend since this thing hit the exchanges yesterday on Tuesday, December 9th. Right? This thing came into the exchanges at 4 cents. It's up here at 6 cents. So around a 50% gain currently. And there's really no TA to go off of right now, okay? With this brand new token. Keeping it simple, right? If I was to be a buyer on midnight, I would be bidding down here at the price this hit the exchanges. So my chart, my indicator here, the Spaceman BTC indicator, has the monthly open where it came into the exchange yesterday, right at 4.1 cents. There's also a 4-hour demand zone there. And it would also be the 78.6 fib. But anyways, yeah, that is something to note. I like the 4-hour demand on this thing, if anything. Now, there is a lot of news. Do I have this tweet up? Yeah, so I actually have this tweet up here. So CEO of NBX.com says that USDM on Cardano is the best stablecoin in crypto. So right now, Cardano, I've been seeing a lot of it actually. And here's Cardano. It looks like Ethereum, okay, where it's just outperforming Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin's kind of over here below the highs, right? This thing moves significantly above it with a strong daily close. Also, you can also see the perfect kind of inverse head and shoulders on Cardano play out. And it broke out here, strong daily close above the swing high from earlier in December. So a lot of, I shouldn't say a lot, actually. It's actually on the fringe, but there's some fringe takes out there with people saying that Cardano is going to be the next coin the whales choose to pump, like they chose for Zcash, for example. Right? There's some speculation out there, some on the fringe takes that Cardano is going to be the next whale pumped coin. What do you guys think? Let me know here in the live chat with some comments. But I have seen that take, and it did kind of spark some interest. It is possible. The only thing is that it would kind of go against my analysis on Bitcoin and ETH. Again, I think that Bitcoin's in a bear flag. All right. And I expect it to hit 98K, fail, go down to 70. That's what I think. So something like that on Cardano, because we're in an environment, we kind of have to monkey branch to some different things here. So stick with me, guys. If you're newer to crypto and you kind of don't know what I'm talking about, stick with me. This will make sense. But because we're in an environment where Bitcoin dominance is dropping, when Bitcoin crashes to 70K, that should mean that these altcoins aren't going to go down as hard as Bitcoin, okay? So that means that maybe Cardano goes and crashes, but it doesn't go down to like some crazy low desolate number, right? Maybe it sticks to around 30, 35, 30 cents, right? Maybe it sticks to around the previous lows at 37 cents, right? Maybe it doesn't crash as hard as some other coins, but it's showing a lot of strength right now. So maybe this is the next whale-induced pump coin. Maybe, we'll find out, but we'll see. Big shout out to Eric Royston. What's going on, Eric? Thank you for the support. And do what Eric says, guys. Smash the like button, peeps. Thank you for all of your support. Polymarket integrations to all kinds of dApps. Yeah, it would be big if Coinbase integrated it, though, just for the news sake. But, we'll see. Mr. Kayabashi, no worries, brother. FBS heard about Knight recently. They gave a good airdrop. What was the criteria for that airdrop? Probably something to do with staking Cardano, if I had to assume. I'm not sure. I think I still have some Cardano staked. Maybe I should check that wallet. But from way back in the day, I just kind of forgot about it. Not any significant amount, but yeah, it's there. Dre says he lost so much money on Cardano because Charles, all talk, no action. Yeah, I mean, it was tough, right? Because it did really put on a crazy move last cycle. I mean, I was able to. Cardano was one of those coins I bought in like the 2019 like bear market, right? When I was dipping my toes into crypto for the first time. So I mean, I did well on it, but if your timing was off, yeah, I mean, Charles was a big letdown. He's a big sell the news guy for sure. Let's see. Perry says, just joined. Do we expect this to be a sell the news event? Thoughts on hype, SUI, and XPL at current prices? So Perry, long story short, I think this is a rally that will lead to a higher low. I don't think that the bottom is in. And I see hype continuing to go down. It's getting destroyed. I see SUI going lower to maybe $1, and XPL I haven't looked at because that thing's probably still a burning dumpster fire. But yeah, I expect this to be a rally that will ultimately fail, personally. Anyway, big shout out to CSS Busy. My man CSS says, hi, Connor, what's up? I appreciate the time you give us with the free education. One day I'll join the mastermind. No worries, man. Hey, I ain't going nowhere, so I'll be here when you're ready. I appreciate your support. Thank you very much, CSS Busy. All right, guys. We are going to go ahead and wrap up our live stream right now. So if you guys enjoyed the live stream, go ahead and show some love. Now, I forgot. I can do some pretty cool stuff. Right, go ahead and show some love. Right, I got some sound effects that I can put up on the screen. Right, so when I say a nice joke, I can put this sound effect. And we can all laugh together. But yeah, smash up that like button, guys. We're streaming on X, we're streaming on Kick, we're streaming on Twitch, we're streaming on YouTube. And yeah, that's it right now. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. We got FOMC in around 5 hours time, expecting a 25 basis point decrease rate cut. And I went over my analysis thoroughly in this stream, but I'll be streaming again very shortly. So stick around, stay a while, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.